the home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you got a Redneckanize.
I've been doing stuff.
What have you been doing?
Been busy, busy working.
Busy, yeah.
That computer trying to find a load.
Yeah, that's right. You might be busy hitting that damn load board trying to find load.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
And they ain't found you nothing yet. Get out of there.
Nope.
Shit, you be better off drop that somebody and hook that flatbed and take off again for a while.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay either.
Well, you know,
I'd be fine to be another job.
Yeah, but you know what it is? There's a lot of drivers out there that they work for chump change, man. There's a lot of them out there. They don't care. They don't have any kind of overhead costs, and they don't know that they can make money. They just say, you know, hey, I need $1,000. They should be getting $3,000, but you know, all they want's $1,000. You know, it's like right. I'll tell you the old joke I remember. I don't know if I told you before, but it was like, so there's a church up there in Arkansas, and they were needing money to build a new building, and so they got a meeting with Sam Walton to build a building to get donations to the church. And so they went into Sam Walton's office, and he was turned with his back to him, and he turns around in his chair, and he has a piece of paper, and he folds it up, puts it in his pocket, and he's talking to him, and he's like, you know, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, this is what we need. He goes, okay, how much you need? He goes, well, we just need, you know, if we had $200,000, that'd be awesome. So he's like, okay, and he turns around, grabs his big checkbook, you know, in the big book, and he writes out $200,000 and gives it to him. Takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and he tears it up, and the pastor says, well, what's that? And he's like, well, I had a check here for $1 million, but you just asked for 200,000, so that's all you need. So, you know, they could have got $1 million. They just asked for it, but they didn't ask for $1 million. They asked for 200,000. So it's one of those things where, you know, a lot of drivers out there, they don't really realize that they can get the money if they just ask for it. You know, I mean, I learned that too. I called up Pete over there at Peter Ramsey Trucking, and he's like, hey, man, you stuck down there? You need a freight? I got a trailer you can move. And I said, really? I said, yeah, bobtail up here and come get this trailer and take it down that way. I said, hey, that sounds like a good deal. He says, how much you do that for? And I'm like, oh, man, I don't even have a clue what I would charge, you know, like that, because it's like I was always used to the rate getting set for me instead of me setting the rate. Right. And I just kind of did it in my head real quick based off the miles that I knew. And I said, you know, I don't know, it'd be like $1,200. He said, okay. I said, really? I thought it was a little expensive. And he's like, you know, but come to find out, I think he was getting like maybe $3,000 to move that trailer. And if I could have asked for $2,500 and he'd have given it to me. You know, it's one of them things where you just don't know. If you don't know, how can you know? How do you? What?
Fuel prices right now, the way they are right now, fuel prices for general freight right now, I wouldn't even touch key for less than $4 or $5 a mile.
Yeah.
Not less than $4 anyhow on general freight. It's ridiculous. There's no reason. You're looking at $4 a gallon fuel, over $4 out here now.
Yes,
there ain't no way.
I took a video. I'm in South Texas, George West Texas at the Flying J. It's $3.99 for diesel and $3.99 for def. That's what it is. So. Yep.
I just put gas. I put gas in my pickup the other day. It was $4.01 for gas. Cheap 87 gasoline.
Yeah. See, ain't you glad you're driving a Dodge? You'll run on that cheap shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for cheap unleaded here, it's 309. It's like, I think it's like 389 for the high octane. Of course, you know, you got to buy the high octane for the Harley. Harley has to have high octane, so.
Keep rubbing on Harley in it. Go ahead.
Hey, we was up yesterday. We was down in Wheeling yesterday, Ed.
Yeah.
Went down to Cabela's, looking around down there, guns and shit. Well, we left there. We went to the Harley shop. We stopped at the Harley shop before we went to Cabela's down there. Walk in there, had a brand new 2022. What the hell was that? I think it was a big, I forget what the hell it was now. Anyhow, he asked me, he says, what do you think the price on that is? I said, I don't know. I says, 25, 30,000. He looked at me, he said $45,000. I said, what?
Yeah.
He said 45. I said, you know what? I said, to me, I said, some bitch ain't worth 4,500, let alone 45,000. He said, what do you mean? It's a Harley. I said, yeah, it's a Harley. It's a foreign damn bike, just like everything else anymore. I said 90% of the damn parts on there is come from anywhere else, Mexico, you know, Japan, wherever. I said, you're hard pressed to find anything on that bike. I said, other than being assembled in the U.S., I said, you ain't gonna find anything on it.
Yeah, so you say that.
I said, me and him stood there and talked for a good while Tip was looking around. $45,000. I mean, it was a pretty bike, but I can't see $45,000.
Yeah, well, you know, like you're saying, the bike is all metric. but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, you can order
Right.
parts or standard. I mean, you can order the parts to be sized in the standard, size instead
Right.
of metric, and all that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, it's American because it's all standard. That don't mean nothing.
No, you start looking on there, look at the starter, and the bolt-on components on it, and they come from everywhere. Most of the starters and stuff. The one on mine right down here's got a sticker right on it, made in Mexico.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's like, okay, so where'd you buy the steel at? Where'd you buy the aluminum?
Right.
To make the tank. Where'd you get all that material from? Because
Exactly.
we know where it's cheap. We know where you can get it cheap. So yeah.
Right.
Yep. Like ain't no telling.
Yeah, they're not a Harley ain't no more than just the name, man. Because as far as the bike itself, it ain't no better than a Honda or a Yamaha or Kawasaki, Suzuki, or anything else. All you're buying is the name.
Well, that was the joke when I had my Shadow. They say you got a Harley. What do you need that Shadow for? I said, well, I need that Shadow that's something to ride when my Harley's in the shop.
Yeah, my buddy Jim, he went and had one. He had a Suzuki Boulevard.
Yep.
Hey, if you look at them at a distance, these bikes all look the same anymore. These
I know.
touring bikes.
Yeah.
And, it's like that Suzuki Intruders I had at 95. You get it, and it looked just like a Sportster from a distance.
Yep.
Well, he took that Boulevard. He took that Suzuki Boulevard he had. It was almost a new bike. He took the Suzuki emblem off the side of it, and he had one of his buddies make up a couple decals, a couple stickers to the side of the tank. It said Harley Davidson. It said Harley Davidson, and he put it on the tank on that thing. Them guys both, oh man, that's a nice looking Harley, man. What you say, a Harley? He said, yeah, sure. It says Harley around, and then they got to reading it, laughed like hell. They put Harley Davidson on. He said that's a hillbilly Harley. He said that's for us that can't afford a Harley, so we build our own. Just change the sticker. Oh man,
That's
but it was comical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had two now. I got two down here in the garage, and to go out and buy another one, I won't buy another one.
No,
I won't.
Yeah.
That's it. I've got it. This one here will last me the rest of my life. 24,000 miles. No Ford. It's got 24,000 miles. I read one of mine. I won't get another one. There ain't nothing wrong with mine. Why trade it off and get another one?
Yep.
Buy another piece of shit.
But yeah,
having my way about it. You rode that Vulcan, that Kawasaki Vulcan out there. You rode it when you was up there.
That's
a little bit. You rode it.
And that's a big bike.
I would trade that Vulcan for two of these damn Road Kings.
Yeah, that Vulcan.
That Vulcan rides so much nicer than what this Road King does.
Yep, and it's a big motor too.
Oh boy, it's a big bike. It's longer than my Road King.
Yep.
It's taller than my Road King. It's heavier. It's a lot more bike. It's just a totally way bigger bike.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big bike. Yep, you're right.
And as far as looks, it puts my Harley to shame as well for looks. I mean, it's just
whoever spent the money on all that. They got all the chrome trim on it with all the little tassels and all that stuff. Man, I tell you, the leather looks good. Everything.
Yeah. The guy we bought that off of, I think we paid $4,000 for that, didn't we? Yeah, I gave him $4,000 for that bike, or $4,500. I forget which now, but it was just like it is when we got it. All I do is wash it. We wash it, clean it, and that's it. That's all we do to it. That bike is just about everything that you can get on it is on it. So,
awesome.
Here I thought I was going to sell that bike at one time. I thought I was going to sell that bike and it was going to be on its way to Texas, but that didn't happen.
Oh man!
Somebody had to go out and buy a Harley.
Yeah, well, that breakout I got now, I love that sucker. I just love it to death. I was, I didn't ride it all this weekend, but I had to go out there and mess with it a little bit, and I cranked it up, and I just love it. Just love it. Wiped it down. Yep.
I haven't had either one of ours started down here in the basement all winter. Last time they was started when you was up here, that was it. That's the last time they ever touched a starter.
That's we were talking about it. I mean, like I said, the weather got cold here, but other than that, we had a poker run scheduled for Saturday morning, but I think maybe about 5 or 6 people went, but it was raining and it was cold. It was like 40 degrees. I was, man, you crazy? I ain't riding.
I'm thinking we're going to, as soon as the weather breaks, to where we get it warms up a little bit before it gets real hot, stupid hot up here this summer. We're going to go out and do some riding, but I gotta pick a nice night when the weather's pretty, not cold but not warm, and when there ain't much of a moon out, just enough to where I can see a little bit, so I can see to go out and steal gas from somebody, so I can afford to put gas in it, so I can go ride. I ain't gonna be able to afford to buy it. I'm gonna have to go out and steal the gas so I can ride motorcycles this summer.
Yeah.
That's sad. That ain't even nothing to joke about, but it's funny, but it ain't. All right, Robbie, I'm gonna shut up. You can talk for a while.
I was gonna say, I mean, really,
What are you talking about your bikes? I don't have a bike.
yeah. What are you doing? What's the racing? What do you do with racing fuel? You got to go out and buy that racing fuel. Is it expensive? What do you got to do with that?
Well, we run alcohol and everything. It's I think it's right around $3.50 a gallon right now.
Okay.
$3 a gallon, I think. But the sprint cars we'll go through 25 gallons in a night, easy.
Well,
I'm gonna start running off-road fuel because it's cheaper, and the fine, even paying the fine for getting car running, is still gonna be cheaper than the price of the fuel to run it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we normally buy a 55 gallon drum of it, and it normally lasts 3 race weekends. And that's pushing it. 2 to 3, it depends on how far we go throughout the night, or if we have to run a B main or whatnot.
so I guess it's
It varies.
so I guess it's bike week down there in Florida. Is that right? Or when's that coming?
Yeah. Well, that's something else. There's a lot of these motorcycles and stuff that's going to Bike Week. They're getting in the convoy and they're convoying to D.C. And then when they get done with the convoy, then they're going down to Daytona. So you're going to have all these motorcycles down there too.
Yeah. I mean, it says
They can plug them side streets off with trucks and stuff to the trucks, so you can't get trucks and cars down through there. How are they going to plug the sidewalks so you can't get a motorcycle around them?
yeah. See, it says bike week is from the 3rd until the 13th. So it's next
Yep.
Thursday, or is it? Yeah, next Thursday, and then goes until the next Sunday. So the reason this comes up is because on CDLLife.com, I don't know if any truck drivers ever been down there. I've been down there. In fact, I was down there maybe right before Bike Week started, and there's a big dealership right there on the highway, and I guess the family that owns that dealership owned all that land around there, and Love's came in and bought up some of the land. Well, the stipulation is that if you can build a truck stop here, but during Bike Week, you have to allow bikes to park in the truck stop. So, during Bike Week, says Florida loves to offer only extremely limited overnight truck parking during Bike Week. And it says that Florida's Love location is asking truckers to plan ahead for an annual Bike Week event that will result in reduced overnight parking opportunities for truckers. Bike Week 2022 lasts from March 4th to the 13th, with events held every day from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Because of major traffic created by the event, the Ormond Beach Loves location will only be able to offer extremely limited overnight truck parking from Thursday, March 3rd through Sunday, March 13th. During past Bike Week events, police have reported 2 to 3 mile backups on US 1 and Interstate 95, north and south of the Loves exit and the travel stop. It says the increased traffic volumes for truckers waiting to fuel, combined with significant influx of cars, trucks, and bikes during that week, caused traffic jams to the point the state police had to close the exit. Loves wants to provide necessary fueling for our professional truck driver customers, but to ensure that is still available, we need to keep the trucks moving in and out at the exit. Once the event concludes, parking will return to normal, Love said in the company blog post. And this has been going on ever since that Love's opened. It's every year during Bike Week. Just stay away from that Love's. Don't even go by there. But the problem is that trucking is a you don't. It's kind of like if you're not a biker and you're not from the area, you don't run that route very often. You don't know. You have no clue that Love's is going to be like that. So I don't know. You would think there would be some kind of like billboard or message board or somebody would be telling the truckers just don't go to that Love's. I would.
Wouldn't matter because they would pay attention to it anyhow.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody will pay attention. Yeah. But to me, I'm almost to the point where when I was going in and out of there, and when I learned that, then anytime, didn't matter what day of week it was, I just did not go to that Love's. It's like me boycotting. I was just, why would I want to stop somewhere where you don't want my business? Your other business is more important than mine. So if you don't,
the motorcycles, pickups, motorcycles and stuff, they get off at any exit there is and get into any gas station that there is along the highway. We can't with these trucks.
Well, I mean, and the biggest problem is that's where the event is. That's the Bike Week is at that dealership. I'm assuming it's there in other places. I guess there's events and things going on. But I mean I don't know. Have you ever been there? It's big property, open property next to a dealership. They set up like these big, huge tents, and there's cars parked in the grass and everything. So yeah, I mean it's all right there. So it's that's why they had to. It's a problem because trucks are trying to get in and get fuel, And because cars and bikes are trying to get in and out of the event, it's right there. In order to get into the Loves to get fuel, you got to turn down the same road to get to the dealership. So it is a pain in the ass. Well, and that's the whole thing is like you're saying, that all they want is your money. They don't want, they don't care what you think. They don't care your opinion. They don't care about whether or not what you need. It's not what you need. It's what we want to give you. It's like you go into to a truck stop and there's no showers or the showers suck. It's like, well, you're limited. You either stop here for a shower or you stink. One of the two. So it's one of those things. You're limited. You're restricted. Over here in George West, the Flying J, well, they're out of water. They don't have water. And the funny thing is they keep saying they're out of water. They don't have any showers. They don't have any. They have porta potties and all that. And the funny thing is there's 3 actual places to get fuel, 3 truck stops. Now the TA not TA. There's no TA there. The Flying J is the newest. It's a new one. It's got showers. The other truck stops got fuel and they've got food, but they don't have any showers. They don't have showers. Right. So you're kind of limited on where you can. Of course, then the parking lots aren't that big either. The Flying J has the biggest parking lot. But the funny thing is that you remember back in the day? Of course, talking about Kingman. Kingman is a good example. Remember when truck stops were built out in the middle of nowhere, and they said, you know what, there isn't any facilities out here for us to be able to like get into water or sewer or whatever. We got to create our own. So they built water towers at a truck stop. Every time you went to a 76 or you went to a rip-offs or whatever, there were water towers. Kingman, Arizona, perfect example. There's water towers because there's no facilities. They have to create their own water pressure, so they built water towers. Well, George West is a perfect example because it's Interstate 37, and right in the middle between Corpus and San Antonio. There's nothing out there. There's 3 truck stops. Well, one of them is of Stripes, which is a local convenience store, and guess what they got? They got a water tower. It's not a very big one, but it's their own water supply, so they don't have to worry about water pressure from the county or whatever. Well, Flying J didn't do that. They tapped into the county water, and now when the county water went broke or failed, then their water failed. And they don't have any water. So,
well, I tell you what, it's been a long time since I've been out around Texas, down in that area, running around. I come up from Laredo up to Del Rio the other day.
Yep.
And when I finally got loaded out of Del Rio, I was so pissed off. I left Del Rio, started up toward Kansas City, and I come all the way up. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, go ahead and laugh, asshole. You think that's funny, huh? There ain't shit up there for 100 miles.
There ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing.
Nothing, man. Nothing but rocks and just mountains and rocks.
Man.
And I didn't see a power pole. I didn't see a cell phone tower.
No.
I didn't see nothing but about 500 dead skunks laying on the road.
Yeah. No, nothing. Dude, one night.
I didn't have no cell service for like 100 miles, and I'm thinking, man, if you break down out here, I'm thinking, oh, you black bastard, don't you let me down now, man.
Well,
I was out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't see. I bet I only see maybe 10 trucks going. What would that be? South, west, whatever it is, and I see nothing going my way. I mean, absolutely nothing for 100 miles. There wasn't a car come up behind me, and I see nothing in front of me going up.
You look out in front of you, and you check your mirror behind you, and there is no lights. Nothing. You are all by yourself.
Nothing. It was in the daytime, but it was nothing, man. I said, I'd never want to come up.
I was driving back when I was owner-operator, and I didn't, like I said, I you pretty much did what you want to do. I was trucking through there one night in the middle of nowhere like that, and it was pitch black, no moon, nothing. And I had to stop, you got, nature calls and you got to go when you got to go. So I stopped and I got out and I did my business. And then I'm like looking around saying, there ain't nothing out here. I mean, I was out there for a good 15 minutes and there was no vehicles. I was there so long that I just went ahead and said, you know what? I climbed up back in the truck, got my Glock 19, come around to the side out there and saw a couple of those little cactus pads growing out of the ground. And I just popped a couple of shots off. Right there, and it's like, ain't nobody out there, nobody doing anything. That's
by the time I did that, there'd have been 3 or 4 sheriffs come down.
No, you would have hit it illegal, and there'd been blood everywhere.
yeah. I'd have caught the only illegal coming up across that boy. I'd have got him. Yeah. I'd have got him right there.
Oh man. But
I got back to the truck, so I didn't see anything. You see anything? I didn't see nothing. I'd have gone.
Polar bear fell on me.
Polar bear fell on me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Man.
Well, I'm done. You guys talk. I'm done.
You on a roll now. Don't stop now.
Oh, man.